greetings, and welcome. Welcome to this week's Real Talk with ZSJ. I am your host. I'm Sister Zakia Sankara Jabbar, and welcome. We want everybody to hit the thumbs up button if you're watching. Make sure you share. Tonight we have a very special guest. Sister Elaine Riddick is here with us, and we're going to be talking about something that's very important, a very dark history, contemporary history as well, right? Of eugenics, forced sterilization of Black women in the United States. So this is something that I wanted to talk about for a while. I've covered eugenics on this program before, but I had not covered sterilization. And I feel honored, to be honest with you all, to have Sister Elaine with us, who was willing to come here today and share with us about her experience as a victim of the state of North Carolina's forced sterilization program of young Black women. And this was not very long ago. As you all can see, Sister Elaine look kind of young, right? She ain't no elder, right? Like, I mean, so it's like this stuff, has happened within the last several decades, right? Um, so anyway, if you're here, hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you share this, and we look forward to having some good comments and questions in the chat. If we have time towards the end, we will be able to take some of your questions. So we'll look forward to that. So without further ado, Sister Elaine, welcome to Real Talk with ZSJ. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Please introduce yourself to the audience. Let people know a little bit about you, and we will hop into the questions after that.
Hi, my name is Elaine Riddick, and I am a survivor of the Eugenics forced sterilization program out of North Carolina.
Right, right. Um, Well, again, I am really thankful that you decided to join us because this is something that is really important. A lot of people have probably tangentially like heard about, eugenics. They may have heard about sterilization or not. But that's why I wanted to have you here to hear directly from a survivor herself. So thank you. Can you break down or give us an example of exactly what forced sterilization is? What happened to you?
Well, forced sterilization is involuntarily or either coerced sterilization. What they do is that they stop a woman for reproducing. So I was raped when I had my son. I got raped at the age of 13. I had my
Wow.
son. I carried him for 9 months. I went into the hospital, and that's all I know. I remember arriving at the hospital. They did something to me, and the next thing I know is that a week later, I found out that I had a son. And when I woke up, I
Hmm.
had bandages on my stomach where they had um, forcefully sterilized me. So I couldn't have any more children. So that's what forced sterilization is involuntary and coerced removal of a woman's reproductive organs.
Oh my God. And
So that's what
no
they
one,
did to me.
so no one talked to you. They just did it. They just did it.
No, because even if they did, I was a minor.
Right.
I
Right.
was
That's what
only
I'm saying. Like, yeah,
13.
he was only 13. You
So
couldn't with
they,
consent.
right. And they did not discuss it with me.
Right. That's what I was saying. They didn't even. They
So,
just
but
did
what
it.
they did do was they just the social worker approached my grandmother. I found out years later. My grandmother is illiterate. The social worker approached my grandmother and that if she didn't sign an X to have me sterilized, that she was going to stop her food supplements. Back then they were getting surplus foods. They would go and stand online with boxes and they would give them cheese and powdered eggs and all of that stuff. My grandmother had about 15 children living in a house with her, so she could not afford to lose her her surplus foods. Keep in mind that they threatened my grandmother. My grandmother was illiterate. She had never gone to school. She didn't even get out of the let's I mean that's what it was back then. Our people did not they were not required for them to get an education or go to school because they had to work on plantations and they had to work in fields. So
Right.
grandmother scribbled an X on a piece of paper and that
I'm
was
about to
it.
go upstairs. I'm doing my show. Sorry, talking to my daughter. Um, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry to hear that. I mean that it makes me angry. What happened to you? And to know that it wasn't just you. I mean, some of our famous sheroes like Fannie Lou Hamer, the same thing happened to her as well in Mississippi. And and so
Yes.
many countless women that we probably don't even know their names, and maybe some women who don't know that it even happened to them. um yeah, and the coercion, like you said, the threatening of your grandmother and the threatening to withhold food. um yeah. What drives you today? Because I know that you are with an
Well,
organization. I know that you're still doing a lot of work. You're telling your story unapologetically. Talk to us about how what happened to you fuels the kind of work that you do now.
well, what happened to me made me want to go after our youth. Make sure that these things don't happen to our children and that our children have a voice and that somebody's out there that's educating the public about what is going on in America. It's not only that, it didn't only happen to women. They sterilize our young boys. They castrated them. Castrated young girls, young children, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of age. The same thing happened to men. I mean, anybody that was institutionalized, because when you become institutionalized, you become product of the state. You don't have a say in what is happening to your body. Now, I have a lot of friends that have been sterilized that I met through the state of North Carolina. Young boys that came out and said, "Oh, well, this guy said, oh, I was just singing in the field." And the next thing I know, they had me on a table. I know several men all over that this happened to, and it's on women. But we have to also remember the purpose of of the eugenics program. You know, they want to eliminate a race of people, and this is why everybody should be mad. Everyone should be mad about this because, like you said earlier, a lot of women don't even know that it happened to them. I mean, back in the day with Marion Smith, I think, what was it, Sims? Remember what he was doing? He was sterilizing women without. So this is what they do to us. We don't have a say because we don't know. When we go into these hospitals, we don't know. But what drives me to continue to talk about this is because we need to expose eugenics in America and what they're doing to our people. It's not just me. The state of North Carolina sterilized 7,600 people.
What? It was that many?
Young girls, women, men, it didn't matter. I mean, that was just one state. 32 states within the United States sterilized its citizens.
Wow.
Georgia, New York, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's 32 states, and yet and still we're quiet.
And it
And we
angers
keep
it
going to
angers
them.
me. It really
And
angers
one way or
me.
the other,
It angers me because here's the thing. You have a whole movement out there that claims to fight for women, that fight for the rights of women, and it's called feminism. You have something that some Black women call Black feminism. But I have never heard, ever heard Black feminists or any type of feminist talk about this. Ever. I've never heard them want to hold states accountable, the government accountable for sterilization of Black women. But they advocate incessantly for abortion rights. That's fine if that's what you want to advocate for, but why not advocate for the rights of a Black woman if she wants to reproduce and have children? This is what I don't understand. Do you have thoughts on that?
well, I because what Black women need to understand is that we need to stop going to these same people, these abortionists, these same people are eugenicists. These same people are
Mm,
paying people to abort your baby and to lynch the Black woman's womb. Something we
damn.
don't understand. We don't understand why we go to them, who told us to go to them, who said it was good for us when it's not. We pay them, give them our money to lynch our womb. They don't lynch our people on trees no more because they got Black women going to them just for that purpose. No, they're not
Wow.
going to talk about that, but they should talk about it.
Yeah. You said that you're interested in getting to the youth and talking to the youth because this is not something, what I know about history and what I know about oppression and white people in general, their institutions, is that they never stop doing anything. They evolve it, right? They find other ways to do the same thing and they'll rename some shit. What does eugenics look like
Yes.
today?
Well, well, to me, eugenics is they come in every form. Okay, I mean, as I say, and as I said, now I have a group, and it's Black People Against Eugenics, Euthanasia, and Assisted Suicide. See, again, go to them, and we don't know why our people don't come out of the hospital or why they are in a hospital with psycho. They never come out. We don't understand why they die or why they are placed in a nursing home. They don't have to be in a nursing home. So you got eugenics targeting us through covert sterilization, sterilizing the masses of
Covert,
people through
covert
crops.
sterilization. Talk,
Covert,
talk more about that. Yeah, tell me more about that.
covert, covert sterilization. Covert sterilization is targeting your DNA through crops, through the food you eat, the water you drink. They are finding different ways of sterilizing Black people. Look at our youth. Our boys look like girls and our girls look like boys. Why is that? I mean, this is eugenics. See, you can't do children if you turn yourself into a girl, if you change your gender, or you turn yourself into a boy, you change your gender. So, have you ever seen anything like what we have in today? Our youth, they're changing their gender, and it's either food, medications, or what have you. They're targeting your DNA through crops. They're planting specific foods out there for you.
Specific foods.
Well, corn, farming foods, whatever you want to eat, beans, vegetables, and stuff like that.
Wow.
I mean, you can Google up RNA interference, RNA interference, where they target Black people through their crops, their DNA by means of the food.
Oh, I believe you. I'm just asking you because I'm sure people are listening ain't never heard of this stuff. That's why I'm asking you to kind of go into it a little
I
bit more
just
because
read. I do a lot of research. I do a lot of research.
I
And
see.
see, and this is we have to know. We have to know these things because like I say, our little children. Look, our babies. The same thing. I mean, this is eugenics, Depo Pavera. They give it to us. They've been giving it to us. Our women don't know what's going on with their body, with
I
their
had
emotional being.
Depo-Provera as a teenager when I was in high school. I was 11th and 12th grade, and my aunt wanted me to be on birth control when she found out I was sexually active. She was like, "You don't need to be having no babies," and I didn't know any better. I was fine because I'm just like, I don't want any babies in high school. You know what I mean? So the Depo-Provera shot was poison, though. I didn't know that. One of the things that I noticed at
Thank
that
you.
Depo shot, it was poison. But a lot of
But
times you don't
but
know
forcing on Black women.
exactly. And young girls.
That's what
I
they're
was a
forcing on.
teenager.
Yes, and I have a group, another group, and the name of this group is Women Against Depo Pavera. So I have about 300 to 400 women that I talk to about that birth control because that is the birth control that target Black women and kill Black women. So we have to know
I was
about
off
these
of it
things.
after a
I
couple
mean, I
years.
have
I
so
got
many
off of it.
women
It
that's
made me
everything
crazy.
cancer, tumors, Dr. Pop them, they come back.
Right. There's a question from the audience here. They
Yeah,
want to know
so we have
what can
to
we
know
do to
about
combat it?
how we get targeted.
Right. So there's a question from the audience here.
Well, we have
The
to
brother,
educate each other.
we have to educate each other. Yeah. And I do think natural birth control. In fact, I had a conversation about that not too long ago. Natural birth control is definitely something that I think should be discussed more, and women should know more about natural ways because our ancestors was doing natural birth control before all these chemicals. You know what I mean? So there's ways to not have a
Mhm.
baby if you don't want to have one. It's biology. You just follow your clock.
Exactly. Exactly. So, and I find that they're giving a lot of Black women the tubercle ligation, and they're giving them the which is nickel and titanium. And what that does when they inject in you, it can break all. Is I know a lot of women that have died because of that particular
You
birth
talking about
control. The
you talking about the
Assure.
Paragard?
Is as sure. It's made out of nickel and titanium. And a lot of us are allergic to nickel. And some are allergic to titanium, but they give it to you anyway. And what it does, it breaks off and it travels anywhere to any part of your body. So we really, really need to educate ourselves and our people on birth control, abortion, and other things that they're doing to us. I mean, it causes women like the Depo, it causes women to have mental issues. I mean, I ask women and I ask people when I go out and I speak, I say, how you say they say that black women are lazy. Black women are not lazy, it's what you're putting in their body. If they can't get out of bed after using Depo, they can't feed their children. They are just it takes so much out of them. So they call us lazy. We're not lazy people. This is
No.
what you do to us.
Right. That's right.
Right. That's right.
Ugh, this is so sick. I'm trying. I mean, this is making me so angry. Like just all the tools that are being employed and used. And one of the things that I notice now is that somebody mentioned it's called popular eugenics now or something like that. Is that they'll wrap it in something and create it as a protected class, and they create so much hysteria around it um, that if you say anything about it, then you become, um, you become the issue.
Oh,
It's
see what it is that first of all, we understand who the eugenicists are,
Thank you. Tell us who
and
are the
most
eugenicists. Who are
eugenicists, they're white supremacists.
they?
I'm sorry, they're white supremacists. I mean, so these, I mean, really, how they are.
And they're not the kind of white supremacists that wear KKK
That's
hoods,
hard.
right?
They just don't
They
have
have
any
a lot
use
of
for
them.
black people.
They have PhDs, right? And they work in the university.
A lot of them do, yes. I mean, and this is what they teach their children. These are eugenicists. All they want is a pure bloodline.
Mm.
And
And what
according
do
to
they
them,
define as pure?
we're the number one on the totem pole.
Mm.
Line, pure bloodline.
So what do they
Anything
define as pure?
else don't have we anybody else don't deserve the right to live.
Wow. Mm-mm. This makes
We need to
absolutely
stop
no sense.
following these people.
I don't follow these people.
Don't
I've been
insist, but
woke
it's
up.
true.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I, I mean, I it's just unbelievable. The length that they will go through to exterminate us. The things
Well,
different.
they don't need us to work the slave plantations anymore. The idea to exterminate us happened when the Industrial Revolution happened, where they didn't need us anymore.
So,
So
and
here's
that's
another
exactly
question.
right. So they don't need us anymore. So they don't want to feed us because
Right.
it's too many of us. So we're a problem
Hmm. To them, right. Let me ask you this because you talking about some
to
stuff
them.
now. Right,
Yeah.
exactly, to them, right. Can you tell us about the attempts to silence you, discredit you, or even harass you that you've experienced over the years?
Well, for one, I have lived in North Carolina. You have to remember now. I found out that they had me at the age of 19. They sterilized me at 18. So when I got married and I wanted to start a family, it didn't happen. So I went to the doctor, and I mean, they were like, they didn't violate civil liberties. This is what they said. This is what they said about me. They said I was feeble minded. I would never be able to take care of myself, let alone take care of a child. I would not be able to tie my shoe.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, what are you talking about? So it took me from the time I was 19 years of age until I was in my 50s
Wow.
before I had got of apology.
Wow.
They finally realized that they violated because I wouldn't shut up, I wouldn't let up, and I wouldn't turn the state of North Carolina a loose. I didn't have a lawyer, and I had a editor, and the three of us started this thing and asked the state of North Carolina to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, we went through how many governors? Three or four governors
Right.
before someone listened to me. And like I said, I'm not going to shut up here. You might as well go ahead on and do what you got to do, because you're not going to get off. You're not going to be let off. I sued the state of North Carolina for $1 million when I was 19 years of age. They had an all-white jury that said that North Carolina did not violate my civil liberties. Later, they come back up and say, yeah, we did violate her rights to have children. So it was about 3 or 4 of us going, every like almost twice a month, and to sit in front of their face. Finally, they decided we only got 48,000. Divided between how many people? Over 200 people. The rest of them were dead.
Damn. I didn't go into this. I had no idea that they sterilize men too. Can you tell me a little bit more about how they when you say castrated, they chemically castrated, not physically, right?
They castrated little boys and men. Yeah, they castrated little boys and little girls. They sterilized. They took took their womanhood away from them. The state of North Carolina went as far as sterilizing a little 5-year-old kid, little girl.
What?
They sterilized young boys 8, 9, 10 years of age. Yes, ma'am. And this is why we have to fight for our children, because when our children are institutionalized, they don't know what's going on. Like I said, the state have state ownership of these children. And our children come out so messed up until it's unbelievable. I mean, little girls, a little 5-year-old girl. What could a little 5-year-old girl do? What could I have done to cause our government to inflict such pain and humiliation on us? What did I do? I was a victim. So like I say, I was victimized twice. One by the perpetrator, the rapist, when I was 30 years old, and then by the state of North Carolina.
Yeah. Instead of providing you help,
I mean, I was just a baby. My body wasn't even developed.
right? They sterilize you. They turn around and punish you for what happened to you. These devils. And I think what I want to get across, and you have been
Exactly.
getting this across, yeah, these people are devils, is that eugenicists don't walk around with white hoods on and call themselves the KKK, right? They have PhDs, they have MDs, they have
Exactly.
masters in public health. Okay. These people, as somebody said in the comments earlier, talk with great diction, and they smile at you now while they're chemically castrating you, like you said, through
Exactly.
food and through everything else. And can you tell us, because I know that this is probably going to be a question as people continue to listen to this. Can you, when you said you researched, can you tell the audience some of the things or some of the books that you would recommend for people to read for themselves to come to the same conclusions that you came to? What are some of the books, some of the research
Well,
people can look at?
well, you can just go up with what's his the first one is what's his name, Marion Sims.
Marion
And you can
Sims, I'm
just
familiar.
Google. You don't even have to read a book. Everything is online. You can just Google sterilization, Dalton. You can just Google
Oh, I'm familiar with Francis
all of these
Galton.
people. Or, or better yet, all you have to do is Google Elaine Riddick, and you can Google My Alpha 21, Black
I
Genocide in
saw
the
that
21st
movie. Now,
century.
were you in that? Were you in My for
I
21?
was.
I knew I recognized
I
you.
was. Yes.
Yeah,
that
I watched that years
that
ago.
was exposed. That was every black person should see that documentary.
Every black person. And let me
Every
tell you
black
something.
person should see that documentary, and that's the only thing you need to watch.
I want to thank you for doing that because I was a raging liberal at that time. Because, at that time I was young, you know what I mean? I was in college. And so, to be a liberal, I was about, everything right. You know what I'm saying? And so at that time, I thought that
Right,
advocating for abortions and things like this, I thought that that was the right thing to do because to be a good liberal you're supposed to advocate for things like that. But when I saw my for 21, I began to like ask questions. I began to say, well, hold on now. Planned Parenthood got an award in Margaret Sanger's name, but this movie telling me something different. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? And so I really want to thank you for being a
yeah.
part of this project because that was when I woke up and was like, oh, I don't think I'm for this no more.
Well, Margaret Sanger. I don't know why people don't know who Margaret Sanger is. I don't know why, and she was the biggest advocate
Yes,
for
she
killing
was.
black babies.
Yes,
I mean, the biggest, and she's the founder of Planned Parenthood.
she's
And
one of the
like I
founders.
said before,
Absolutely.
we run to them. We run to the eugenicists, to the white supremacists, and we beg them to lynch our wombs.
It's nuts.
We pay them. We
Like
pay
you
them
know,
this
the
money
everlasting line.
to lynch our wombs, and they don't even talk about how many black women have died while having an abortion on the table.
Damn.
And this is why we have to get this across. We could have had our own army to fight for us if we didn't run to them to kill us. We could have
Mm,
had our own army, but we
mm,
run to the enemy and
mm,
beg them to lynch us. They don't lynch us on trees anymore.
mm,
They don't do that. We need to stop it because another thing is that it's not good to kill. Thou shalt not kill. But they don't explain that to the female that go and lay on the table. They encourages it. I was listening to a video where this white guy called and say to Planned Parenthood, if I give you this amount of money, would you make sure that it go to these people here? Okay, he was paying to have black babies killed. If the woman didn't have the money then he's done gave Planned Parenthood the money to kill black babies. And we don't get that. We
I
don't get
remember. I
it.
remember hearing about that.
And
I remember hearing about that.
yeah, and it's sad that when black women go to these places, they don't understand what happened to the baby parts. You know, these people are constantly making money off of the heart, the liver, you know, the joints, the bones, and everything. They are making the eyes. These people are selling these baby parts for money. I mean, and I'm
Oh,
telling you,
shit.
you have to be rich off of you killing your baby. They're getting
This shit is.
rich. They're selling baby parts.
I can't fathom the type of
You can
mind.
look it up. How
No, I'm
much
saying
does it
I'm
cost?
not disputing what you're saying.
How
I
much
said
does
I
it
can't
cost?
fathom the kind of mind that would even think of doing something like that. These
That's
people are when Elijah Muhammad,
I
people
mean,
can say what they want to about Elijah Muhammad. When he said the white man is the devil, I'm just saying, like the proof is in the pudding. Elijah Muhammad was a
I
great
mean,
psychologist, Dr. Amos Wilson.
you know, and the black woman don't get nothing. She don't
These
get
people are
nothing.
sick, sick,
They are sick.
and I don't understand why some black people follow behind them. I have been saying probably
How
over
much
the
does a
last
baby
year.
part cost after it's aborted? Now I was gonna Google that up. The baby, you can just ask Google how much does a baby aborted baby heart, brain, you know, their tissues cost, and what happened to these tissues. I mean, you can just Google it. I mean, it's just so simple, but we don't get it. They are made after you done paid them to kill your baby. Then they take the baby body parts, and some of them they leave in a pan, just saving the brain, and this is what I'm saying. We have to stop doing what we're doing. We have no idea what's going on, and this is why we don't need to. If you're gonna kill your baby, you should think about your consequences before you get pregnant, and that would save everybody some heartaches.
Do you know the statistics?
I didn't have a choice,
Right, you did not have a choice, and that's what's
and that's why
extra
it
criminal.
bothers me so much. That's why it bothers me so much to see women killing their baby and going to the same people that sterilized me.
Damn.
Yeah, he said somebody said that the baby body parts are harvested for stem cell research. That's one part of it. But the other part of it, if they're going to keep a baby alive, if the baby is not real completely aborted, what they do is they put it in a dish and hold it. And when they are ready, they put it on ice and they sell the parts to people that needs the parts. I mean, this is what you call, they do the same thing with us, with black people. Why you think so many of us are missing? They'll
I
harvest
can't. I can't.
parts.
Ooh, I can't. Girl, I'm about to start crying. This is crazy.
And what us? I know it's crazy, but it's real. It's real.
This is one of the hardest. This
And
is
we
probably the
don't get
hardest
it.
show I've ever done. This is crazy, and nobody talks about this shit. We talk about
They
everything
don't.
else. Black people can get on here and have gender wars. We can get on here and have wars about being ADOS and FBA and all this other bullshit. And you got people out here selling body parts. You got people out here harvesting our body parts, and we fighting each other. It don't make no goddamn sense.
And here's another thing. Even remember the little boy that was in Brunswick, Georgia, that was killed and they found him rolled up in a rug
Yes, that was
and
in
had an
Atlanta, wasn't it?
autopsy.
His
They
name was
found
Frederick.
he was look. They done took everything out, and he had newspapers in him. They done filled the bodies up. They filled the bodies up with newspapers. Black undertaker somewhere here in Georgia said every time a body come in there, they go to the police morgue first, and then when they get them, the body parts are taken out. And I can't understand it. All of this is eugenics. They take them to the police morgue before they take them anywhere else. You can't even get the body until they finish doing what they want to do.
Yeah,
Well, we don't like to talk about abortion and incest, but incest is big in the black community.
Lord have mercy. We
Now,
talking
someone
about it
just
all
said that.
tonight, ain't we? I said we talking about it all tonight. Let's talk about it. I ain't censoring nothing. I can't say that I know much about incest. I thank God that I came from a family that was normal, a black family that was normal. I thank God for that. I never, I know women who've been harmed by men, black men. I thank God that I have been around men that have kept me safe. I've never had that type of
Mm-hmm.
experience of being raped or being fondled as a little girl by men who were supposed to take care of me. I never experienced that, and I'm grateful for that. So I'm not censoring any of that, and I'm not saying that it don't happen. I think all of this shit is sick, and I think all of it is a symptom of us living under global white supremacy and white domination. There's a lot of shit, and I'll
Thank
fight
you.
anybody about this. There's a lot of shit that black people did not do before we came into contact with Europeans. Period. I will stand on that to the end of time. Now, I'm not saying that black people are inherently just, you know, like we don't do nothing bad, but some of this shit is foreign. We didn't do some of this shit, man. Some of this crazy ass shit. I mean, it did not come from a black mind to take an infant's body parts and sell it. Damn it. I mean, we don't think like that. The shit is crazy.
Right. But
Go
that's
ahead.
how they profit. Everything about black people are for profit. Someone had just put up something about incest, and I mentioned it that it do happen in the black community more than
Right.
you think. But yes, this is what is going on with us, and it's so sad that people don't get it. I mean, especially, I mean, it is devastating to see how we don't see what is going on with us, and we don't understand what they're doing to us.
Mm.
We get up and like it's okay. But it is not okay. Now is the time for us to start fighting back. Because as long as we sit still, say or do anything, they will continue. And it's getting worse.
It is.
It's getting worse now. Every day is something different. Every day is something different. Genes slicing, uh, whatever it is. I mean, look, this is what they're doing. They're messing with our DNA. And we have to stop. We have to stop going to them. We have to stop depending on them. We have to start looking out for each other. I hear people saying unity. How can you ever get how can you ever get unity if you don't understand what's going on? Who
Well,
you fight? You don't even
I
know who you're
agree with
fighting,
you.
who you're up against.
A lot of us, it's so funny. I couldn't believe it. I have to tell this story. This happened to me yesterday, and my feelings are a little hurt by this. But a friend of mine that I thought was close to me, I thought we had very similar politics. We both like Dr. Amos Wilson. We both like Khalid Muhammad. You know what I mean? Like, I identify as a black nationalist, a Pan-African nationalist. I'm a nationalist, right? And so that means I come with a certain set of politics. That means that white people have a certain place in my life, right? I'm a black woman in America. Obviously, I have to deal with white people. We all got to deal with white people. Right now, they the fucking
Right.
majority. Okay. So, but I was shocked that I got into it with this person over white folks. And this person revealed to me, I have been knowing this person intimately since 2018. And this person revealed to me, this person identifies as a Pan-Africanist, all of that. And he said, my best friend is white. What? I mean, that's fine, but like, there's a whole lot of shit I would have never said to you. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'd have known that
If
that's
you
your mindset, I believe he also believes in intimate partner relationships with white women. I believe he's had those. You know what I'm saying? All of this shit is new to me. And so anybody that fuck with Khalid Muhammad, I'm confused when they say shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that is, but now I'm recalling now that this person never identified as a nationalist. They just say they're a Pan-Africanist, but they never said they were a nationalist. And so I'm dealing with that now with my own assumptions, assuming that, you know, because I've been knowing this person since that long. I mean, listen, you find out something new about everybody. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because even the most black liberation, black power people falling for white people bullshit. Do you hear me? And it reveals a lot. It reveals a lot. Especially you having an intimate
I,
partner relationship with a white woman, and you that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I know black people do stuff like that, but you are a black person that anyway, I got into that because when you
right.
say we don't know who we're dealing with, I'm saying that I have been so shocked by people who supposed to know better. You know the history, right? You know all of this shit, and you still allow yourself to go there. Sometimes you can't trust some of these people. Everybody that claim that they something ain't really about that life. And so I say all that to say is that black people, we're in for a long haul, because what's going to end up happening is we're going to have to deal with people in our own community before we can even deal with white folks. That's why I say all of that. That's a fact.
I agree, because same thing. Some of my best friends are supposed to be big people, and come to find out they put black people down, and these people are black in front of the white people, and
Yep.
I just had to step away. Some are
Yep.
well-known people. I'm not going to call no names because you know them. Well-known people, lifers, sitting there agreeing with them,
Yep.
and I had to walk away. Because you know what? I'm not going to put my black brother and sister down for
At all.
nobody.
For nobody.
Just walk away.
Nobody.
And you know it's wrong. You know what they're doing to us.
Right.
They know what they're doing to us. But you
Right.
know what? If you want a cookie here, help yourself. I'm not going to sit at the same table with you
You will
when
be
I know
surprised.
you're wrong and you know they're wrong.
Yep. Hey, listen, I am so glad that I'm married to the type of man that I'm married to, because when it comes to the things that are important, me and that man on the same page. On the same
You
page.
got to
When it,
be.
we gotta be. My husband is clear. He was clear like before I met him, on certain things. And that's why he and I vibe. And he clear. Okay. Ain't no, he's a student of Elijah Muhammad. That's why I brought that up earlier.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
he clear.
And the man tell
Here's
you
the
what it
thing.
is, Elijah Muhammad. You know, he's straight up. I'm gonna tell you that now. The man have eyes he can see. I don't know how big they are, but they go all the way over yonder. I'm sorry, but he's what's going on. He's not stupid man. And we need, if we want some real men that can sit here and say what it is. After what happened to me, I was determined not to bite my tongue. I'm not going to bite my tongue for nobody, especially when I know what you're doing and I see what you're doing to our people.
Right.
My people. And then they had the audacity to ask me, who are your people?
Right.
Who are your
Right.
people? I thought you were crazy for asking me the question. Those are my people. Black people, my people.
That's right.
The ones that you're out here harming is my people.
Right.
But getting back to what we need to do before we unify, we're going to have to come up here and we're going to have to come and figure out how we're going to deal with him. Because if we don't do that, what's going to happen, no matter how much unity you get, how much land you buy, he's going to come back and destroy it.
Talk about it.
He's going to take it, he's going to burn it down, or he's gonna look what happened to the late Lanier. He's gonna put it underwater like he did the black town here in Georgia, Lake Lanier, where all those black people were drowned, and they built a man-made lake on top of the people,
Yep.
and they're
Yep.
still under the water. So we have to figure out how we deal with these people. Because we can't
Right.
be quiet. Because until we find out what we need to do with those people, we would never have unity because he's always going to come in the middle of us. He's always
Right.
going to come between us. He's always
Right.
going to have us conflicting with each other. So
Right.
first, let's deal with them.
Right.
We have to stop their madness before we
Right.
can do anything, because other than that, it would be a waste of time.
Right. Right. That's a fact. Right. That's right. I mean, you giving us our marching orders. And you're right. We got to know who the enemy is. And sadly, and I have to say this, sadly, I'm finding out that so many people in this generation that's been educated in their universities in the 90s and definitely in the 2000s, they are not clear on who the enemy is. In fact, many of them have went to these universities, especially in these women and gender studies classes, and they have been taught that the black man is their enemy.
And he's not. And that's it. The black man, it goes so far back, so we can even go back into slavery,
Yep.
because everything that we were taught to hate each other. And see, and that's another thing that we have to stop. I mean, they had us out there doing slavery, fighting each other.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and this is where it all started at. You're not my enemy. You
No.
haven't done anything to me. They don't want us to say, I love you. They try to keep us so far apart because you know what? If we ever gather, they know they are finished. If
Right.
we ever came together
They
as
are
a
finished.
people, as a whole people, they know they're finished.
They know that.
They
told
know
us
that.
back in the
That's why they
80s.
got to keep us.
That's
That's
why
why
they
they
got
got
to
to
keep
keep
us
us
apart.
apart.
Right.
That's right. And now, we have to figure out a way how to bring us together.
Right. Right.
We're
That's
one
what.
people.
Right.
As long and they don't fools fed us this hatred. They don't lied about Africa. They don't lied about so much.
Right.
And I remember Henry Kissinger, I think it was book one, page 101, where somebody asked him why was he supplying guns in Africa. But we didn't understand that he was supplying the guns to all the tribes.
So they could kill each
And why
other
are you
off.
doing that? Because so they can kill each other.
They
So
doing the same
that's the
thing in
same thing
inner
that's happening
cities.
here.
Exactly. Right. They doing the same
Exactly.
thing in the cities. Yeah. They supply the guns.
And,
There's not a
and people
black
don't get
gun
it. They're doing the
manufacturer.
same thing. And then and then what they do is they come after they done messed up your neighborhoods. then they
Yes.
come and then they, what is it, gender gentrification. Then they come and move you out and take your property,
Take your land, take your property, take your house. They doing that in DC
take
big
your
time.
land
Black
and take
people
your.
just about gone. Detroit, Cleveland,
I mean,
everywhere. Atlanta. Shit.
Georgia,
Right.
North Carolina. I mean, it's all over. They just taking.
Black people are less than
This is
6% of the
all
population
eugenics.
in LA now. Black people don't fucking exist in LA now. Damn near don't
Look at
exist.
where they're
San Francisco.
living.
Right. They living under the fucking
Look at
bridge.
where they're living.
Right.
Under the bridge.
Under the fucking
Under
bridge.
the bridge. I mean, and look, this is eugenics, okay? So
This
if you
is
don't have a home to live in, and if you're homeless, you're living on the street, you don't have no food to eat, you don't have
right.
no change in clothes, they're gonna let you die.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, and that's the bottom line.
Right.
That's the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yep.
gonna let you die.
That's their goal. Right.
You know, yeah. So what I do have to say about what's happening to black women and men with eugenics is a real epidemic, and we can't even look at it as being that, but that's what it is. With the forced sterilization, the messing with the DNA, the housing, the homelessness, I mean, the voting rights, and you got all of these other things that they are messing with. When it comes to black people, they're taking all of our rights away from us. And the next step is, if we don't wake up real soon, they're gonna have us back in shackles. And we can't even see that. And this is what they're working towards. They're taking you out your home, they're taking your voters' rights away, they're killing your children. I mean, what else is there that they can do to
Yes, Tiffany.
women?
You
They're
figured it
turning
out.
them into whatever
I
they
figured
want to
out it
turn
was
them
the
into.
liberals a couple of years ago. You are
Yeah.
exactly right, Tiffany. They are the liberals. It's not the conservatives. The liberals are very they're very sophisticated in their anti-black racism. Very sophisticated. And they have recruited a lot of black people to help them.
Yes, they have. Yeah,
Yes.
but it's basically, I was reading, it's in most of the groups, because now, being a pro-lifer, I have to say, and I'm not going to put it on, I am a pro-lifer, but as I said, I had to walk away because you're telling me that you're against abortion, but you're over in Africa giving them abortion pills and abortions. So, and I confronted them, and they told me that it was some parts of the pro-life movement that was doing this.
Wow.
So, and that
They
they have
pro-life when it comes to
targeted,
white women.
listen, yeah, they have targeted over 2 million girls of childbearing age in Kenya, and they have forcefully sterilized them with the Depo laced with HG, is it HG? Is HGN or some type of chemical that they had added into the birth control, into the Depo-Provera, and they forcefully, and it caused sterilization among over 2 million girls over in Kenya of childbearing age.
These people are
HCG.
sick.
I'm sorry. That's what it
They so
is.
sick.
So,
They are so sick.
so it's all of them. It's all of them. So even with Bill Gates, going over there with the injections for giving them that caused all the kids to develop meningitis over there and become like crippled. But that's not the word that I should use. But that's what happened. With him going over there, and he's all these sterilization drugs over there as well. We're up against so much and we don't even know it. And I think, again, that what we need to do is we need to open up our eyes and decide Do we want to continue to be this way? Or are we going to continue to allow them to do this to us because they're hurting us and they're eliminating us by any means necessary?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's right. This has been amazing. I've learned a lot, from you. I appreciate your unapologetic nature and telling the truth. I appreciate the work that you're doing. Now, tell us about your organization and how can people support you?
Well, I am the
The
president
Rebecca
of
Project.
The
Right.
Rebecca Project for Justice, and the Rebecca Project for Justice is a transformational organization that advocate for the dignity and for dignity is for protecting life, dignity, and freedom for our children here and in Africa. And actually, I'm all around the world. I'm all over the world. So this doing, and as a matter of fact, EA is going to be the Elaine Riddick Sanctuary Shelter, where I will. I'm opening up a home. I just got to get the building, so I am opening up a youth center, a home shelter, and it's going to be for youth at risk. It's going to be chemically dependent children. It's for children that's being sold into human trafficking. And
Wow.
also, the best part is that we're going to be saving abandoned babies. So a drop
Yeah.
box, where someone is sitting at the window. We have a big box where people could drop the babies off if you don't want them. You hurt them, you don't. You just bring them to me. So this is what hopefully I can have my home opened up within um, maybe the next 2 months because I'm already ready and I feel good because this way here we can protect our children. And what we're going to do is we're going to teach our children hands-on skills so they can go out there and they can become you know just good they can become da da da, I don't want brain dead. They can take care of themselves. I went
Right.
brain dead for a minute. They can become productive members of society.
That's
So
right.
that's my goal right there is to put them in
Is there
school,
somewhere people can
hands
donate?
on. Yeah, you can go to the Rebecca Project's website. It's RebeccaProjectJustice.org. You can go to, and there's a donate button there. And also, they are opening up they have opened up my, so, which is in North Carolina. So that's one thing that the government did do for me other than $8,000. Opened up a charter school in my name. So I'm happy about that as well.
That's amazing.
So
Wow.
I be pretty busy. And again, if anybody is on Facebook, you can go to my group, Black People Against Eugenics, Euthanasia, and assisted suicide. So this is the newest thing that they're doing now is that they are allowing Black people don't have the right to say for a family member that I want that member to live. So what they're doing is they're euthanizing them in a hospital, and they are allowing them to. The doctors are assisting them in with suicide. So that's something else that,
Wow.
like I said, my group is Black People Against Eugenics, Euthanasia, and Assisted Suicide. And then if there's any women out there that's on Depo Pavera, I have another group, and it's Women Against Depo Pavera. And you'll meet all kinds of women there. So many women have been harmed and damaged very bad. Women have died that I know that was in my group from the injection. And I just want us to stop allowing them to kill off our reproductive health because
Yeah.
that is what they're targeting.
Wow. Mm, mm, mm. Thank you for everything that you're doing. I put the website in the comments. People will have your email. People, will also be able to donate on the website to help
Thank
support
you.
your mission, to help support the work. And I want to encourage everybody to do just that. This is the website. I just put it up on the screen. Make sure you all visit this website. Make sure you all share this broadcast. Sister Elaine shared some powerful information that everybody needs to hear. Everybody needs to hear it. Okay. And we want to support this sister. We have to use our resources to support people who are unapologetically about Black people, and they're not concerned about liberals. They're not concerned about conservatives. They're concerned about Black people. So let's make sure we support
That's
this.
right.
Thank you, Elaine. You're welcome to come back to this
Thank
program
you.
anytime. Absolutely. As you get new information, you know how to reach me. If there's a new project that you have coming up that you want to come back on to talk about, you are always, always, always welcome on this
Thank
program.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I want to let my listeners know, thank you all for staying with us. We are a little bit over tonight, over an hour, but I wanted to make sure Sister Elaine got everything out that she wanted to talk about. We will be back next week. Just as a reminder, we're here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time every Wednesday. Next week, we'll be talking about what it means to be a Black nationalist woman and why the Black nationalist woman is integral to Black liberation. And I'm excited about that conversation. I'm having a sister on, Ren G. She will be joining us next week. The sister is powerful. She's a Southern sister out of Louisiana. And we're just going to talk about what it means for us to be women who identify as Pan African nationalists or Black nationalists. So I hope y'all join us next week, at again Wednesday at 8 p.m. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Make sure that if you did not hit the thumbs up button, hit the thumbs up button, share. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, be sure you do that. Thank you all so much. Have a good night.
Good night.